How's it, everyone? Welcome to this video where I will be showing you all of my camera gear and equipment that I use to make overlanding and wildlife films. So if you're new to this channel, go and check out my other videos. I'll put a link on top here, and please remember to subscribe and hit the bell notifications so that you are always notified when the new videos are coming out. I am filming this video on a Canon 77D. It is what Jackie used, and it is standing on a backup tripod. I'm not going to show you that, but I am going to show you all of the rest of the equipment. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the tripod that I use. This is a Pro J tripod. It is a Chinese brand. I've been using it for the past 3 years. You can see there's still some sand and mud on here. I get sand, mud, water on this quite regularly. It works really well. This one is available on Takealot. There's various ones available that's got different weight capacities. This is my go-to tripod. I use it for most of my lockdown shots, and yeah, very handy. Been using it for the past 3 years. Pro J tripod. Comes with a nice soft bag. That's that. This is a fluid video head, so I use this sometimes when I want to get a nice pan shot of a campsite or something like that. It is a fairly cheap model. It is a B-free live Manfrotto video head. I don't use it that often, but if I do want to get a nice smooth pan shot or a tilt shot, then I do use that together with the Pro J tripod. So let's put this away. Then next up, I've got the big lens. So this is a Sigma 150 to 600 millimeter contemporary lens. It is probably one of the cheaper 600 millimeter lenses that you can get out there. It comes with a 3-year warranty. I use, both Jackie and I use this for most of our wildlife shots. It is quite sufficient for what we want to do. I'll show you some of the shots that I do get with this lens. I use that together with my main body, which I'm going to show you just now. Yeah, 150 to 600 millimeter Sigma contemporary lens. So with the big lens and wildlife filmmaking, we use these bean bags. We've got 2 of them. They are very easy to use. Just sits like that on the door, and then the lens with the camera rests on here. So we just put the camera on there, and then we get a nice and steady shot. It is probably not the best solution for wildlife filmmaking, but it is definitely the cheapest. Now we're getting over to this little bag. In here is my DJI Mavic Air drone. Let me quickly show you. It's a nice small little compact drone. Sometimes if I do not want to carry this bag, I put it into the big bag. It's a very small drone. It folds up. It does 4K video. It comes with 3 of these batteries. Its flight time is about 15 minutes, and it does what I want to do. There's a lot better drones out there. If you are considering buying a drone, I would rather go for the DJI Mini 2. So yes, it comes in this bag. In here I've got like 2 spare batteries. I've got the remote controller. This fits into this bag. Sometimes I do only throw the drone like into a dry bag with the remote controller if I know I'm only going to do like 1 or 2 flights, but this one stays in the vehicle, or if I'm doing a film shoot or something somewhere, then I do pack the entire one. over here I've got just a suction cup. Now you might have seen in some of my videos I've got a shot like either next to the wheel or coming out the window. This is, you can put it anywhere, just press it down and it'll stick onto the door. So it's a nice thing. I mount my GoPros on this, very handy to use. Okay, so now we get to this main bag, and this is where I store most of my camera equipment. And all of the rest of the stuff like the tripod, the big lens, the drone and all of that, I don't always carry that with me, especially if I'm going on a hike. I want all my gear with me, and this is very nice. I've got one of these low pro bags. I'm not sure what the model is. It is a low pro bag. And then I do carry a small Gorilla tripod. My camera fits on here. I can put a GoPro on here if I do want to have a steady lockdown shot. So let's go through the bag contents. In here I've got my main camera, which is a Canon 80D. I've been filming with this for the last 4 years. It's probably a little bit outdated, but it's still it shoots in full HD. I use it for all my photography shots. It has had a very tough life in outdoor locations and sandstorms. I've dropped it a couple of times. It is quite a rugged camera. With this I've got a little Rode video mic for my sound recording, and the lens that I've got on here is a Canon 18-135 EFS lens. It is probably my favorite lens. I do most of my films on this. You can get a nice close shot, or you can zoom in all the way and get a nice close-up. So this is my camera that I use for most of my everything that I do. I use this camera. I'm going to show you one of the other lenses that I use with this is the Tokina 11-16mm f2.8. This is a much higher quality lens. I use it for if I want to get a wide angle view. I sometimes use it when I do vlogging, and I also use it for landscape and astrophotography. It's a very nice lens. I quite like it. So that's the Tokina. Okay, so let's have a look at the other stuff that's inside the bag here. In here I've got my charging unit for my battery for the Canon 80D. I also have a flashlight. I've got some Zartek radios, walkie-talkies, and that's sometimes when we're doing a drive-by shot and I've got Jackie in the vehicle, or I've got Jackie standing somewhere on a mountain and I want to communicate with her, move a little bit left, move a little bit right. We use the walkie-talkies. And then in here I've got a little, it's actually for diamond rings, little box. But in here I've got spare batteries for my GoPros, which I'm going to show to you just now. And I've also got a spare battery for the DSLR. Let's just show you what's on the top here. On the top here I've got a small little bag. I just put all my SD cards in here. So I've got loads of SD cards, micro SD cards that I use for the camera, the drone and the GoPros. So on the other side of the bag I've got a little box like this. In here I keep a lot of my GoPro stuff. So I've got a bunch of different mounts, but more important, I've got the GoPro Hero 9, I've got a GoPro Hero 6, and I've got a GoPro Hero 3. I'm going to go through each one of them just now. In here I've got spare batteries, I've got backup mounts, all kinds of stuff like that. Let's talk about the GoPros. GoPro Hero 3 Silver. It was my first GoPro and probably the start of me making a lot of films. So I still use this sometimes, although very rarely do I use it. I use it sometimes if I do want to get a time-lapse shot, or I just need another camera angle inside the vehicle or under the vehicle or on the side. Then I do use it because it still does full HD. GoPro Hero 6. This is the GoPro that I use the most. Almost all of my vlogging stuff on my channel have been filmed on this little GoPro, and it's had a tough life, but it does everything I want to. So yeah, the GoPro Hero 6, and I've recently upgraded to the GoPro Hero 9. It's got a lot more functionality, and it is excellent quality. I really love it. Alright, let's have a look what's in the rest of the bag. And here I've got this Gorilla Grip mount, and I put any GoPro on this. I can clamp it to a handle. I've got a mount there. I can clamp it to the door there. I've got a mount there. I can clamp it in front of the vehicle, anywhere. I clamp this to get lots of different shots with the GoPro. Selfie stick. If you watch my channel, I do use this quite a bit. It's a very small one. It's a very cheap one, but it does the job. Then this here is a little, actually a kitchen timer, or what do you call it, an egg timer. And I use this together with a GoPro, and then I put it on and I get a nice rotating time lapse. So the only reason I did this is because at the time when I started filmmaking, these type of things were quite expensive, but on Takealot I think you can get it for like 300 Rand today. So, and then you know when your time lapse done, hey? What else have I got in here? This is something I do not use that often. It's called a Staby lens. It's just not as good as this that I've got here. So this is a little mount that you put onto the window itself, and then this little ball fits onto the bottom of your camera, and it fits on here, and you get a nice little tilt shot, but I don't like it. It's part of my gear, but I don't use it very often. Then other stuff in here is just like a GoPro floaty mount. If I do go into the water, I put my GoPro into a casing, and if I do drop it, it'll float to the surface. This is just a grip that goes over your hand, and in here is a bunch of other GoPro mounts. So that's basically my gear. Just another thing on this camera, it as I mentioned, it's had a hard life. I'll show you. I've recently dropped it about 3 meters with the tripod. You'll see on the lens there's a small little chip. It survived that fall. If you do want to go for this type of setup, I would rather say go for the Canon 90D. It's a newer camera. It's basically got the same functionality as the 80D with upgraded specs. So if I do have to upgrade, I'll probably go for something that can film on 4K. But if you want something on this mid-range level, I'd say the 90D is your go-to. Oh yeah, so that's basically all my gear. It fits into this backpack. I can take it anywhere, and the nice thing is I also have a zip here in the back, where I've got my MacBook. So if I'm on the road, I can edit, although I don't really edit on the road. What else is there to tell you guys? Oh, some of you guys have been asking, how do I get my steady shots? So it's just training. I do not have a gimbal of any sort. So what I do with this is I kind of have a position that I stand like this. I kind of make my arms a triangle, and if I film, I don't try to film with my hands. I try and film with my whole body, so that if I do want to get a steady shot somewhere and I don't have the camera, say, on the tripod with the fluid head, then I kind of just take like a little pan shot, my arms in a triangle, and I just move my whole body from side to side. I'll show you some of that. So that's basically how I get my steady shots, or otherwise like that. It's as good as a lockdown shot. What else? Guys, so that is my basic setup that I use for making my videos. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you're using something different, let me know in the comments. And yes, if you do want to support me making more of these videos, please head over to my Patreon, support me on there. I share exclusive content on there. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.